Hi Leo, welcome to Lux Tarot. This is going to be your general reading for the month of October. It is a general reading. It may or may not resonate. However, also consider that it may come up to, relate to you in a romantic context. If it does, obviously I'll read it as such. But as it stands, it's mainly just going to be a general reading for October to see how your October is going to fare for you. My Leo the Lions. Let's see. Let's get general energy. Okay, guys, just to brief you on the spread that I'm using, I do tend to use, I'm not going to take all them, I do tend to use kind of like a minor version, a mini version of the Celtic Cross. It's mainly just to keep it, within a certain time frame and just restrictive, so I'm not all over the place with it and going on for like ever and ever and ever. So we'll see how we fare, guys, anyway. So what have we got coming up for my Leos for October, please? What have you got coming up for my Leo the Lions? I hope you're all doing well for the month of October, as it's the first today. Bearing in mind, guys, as well, that we've got a retrograde coming up from, I think it's October the 13th. October the 13th or the 14th, it might be the 13th. I ought to know, really, with having a Gemini Mercury. 13th up to, I believe it's early November anyway. November the 4th, something like that. But I'm sure you can check it out yourself if you want to be precise, but I know that I think it is definitely the 13th, and you'll have to look at where your Mercury is in order to actually figure out what that will mean for you. Excuse me, can't stop burping today. Right, okay, so let's see what we've got here, Leo. So your general the card that's going to depict your general energy for the month of October, we've actually got the moon, okay? So that's interesting. So that's going to be your general energy, and we'll see how this relates in context to everything else. Okay. Oh, it's funny how, I'm going to have to say this, that I've actually got some very interesting recurring cards here that have popped up for the other sign so far. I've just done Cancers, and they've just got the Empress and the Ace of Pentacles as well. So I don't know if you're perhaps dealing with that sign. I'm sure, obviously, because I'm reading for thousands of people, there will be some of you dealing with that sign. But it might just be worthwhile knowing that that's what I'm getting here as a correlation. Anyhow, right, okay. So overall for the month, we've got the moon, okay? So it's a major arcana. It's related to the sign of Cancer. Funny enough, me speaking of Cancerians. Okay, so as an energy, it's kind of like the shadowy side of ourselves, really. It's kind of like the inner emotional work. So maybe in some sense it's requiring that, you go in and do a little bit of shadow work, or that you actually just nurture yourself. There are other cards that would refer to nurturing as being something that, you might need to do. But the moon is definitely our emotions. It's definitely the underside of things. So it's definitely the emotional for me, which obviously pertains as an energy for you. If you're not dealing with a Cancerian, for example, or a Pisces possibly, but I tend to think this is more Cancerian, the moon. If you're not dealing with that sign, then for you in particular, it might just be the need to nurture, to acknowledge in October, your emotions maybe. Okay, so core issue here, we've got where you are, which is the Queen of Pentacles. Fantastic card to get, love it. Could be dealing with an earth sign, but as an energy for you, where you are currently sat, okay, you're quite comfortably here from what I can see. You've got everything that you need around you. It's a queen energy, so it's good. It's really good. However, what's causing a slight blockage is the Empress. So it is quite possible for the month of October that, maybe there's an issue regarding finances. Maybe this kind of Empress is compensating for something because she's presenting a blockage effectively. If you're not dealing with a Libra or particularly, a Taurus, then it could just be for you personally that, there might just be some spending going on here, really. Although you sat pretty as it is in both cards, obviously, it could just be that you need to relate to your finances in some way, because the Empress crossing you obviously she's got everything she needs. She's lavish, she's beautiful, but she's a bit of a diva as well to some degree. Although she's got demure, she's still, she likes her comfort, and these things obviously cost. And whether it's related to the current climate or your job or whatever it is, but it's presenting a blockage basically. And if it's a blockage of some sort, then it's an issue of some sort. So maybe you just need to keep check on that. And maybe it's a case of, you're overcompensating for something. Maybe there's something emotionally that's not being addressed. Maybe that, you need to actually focus more on the spiritual, basically more on your emotional side, whether that be in relationships, but I'm reading that more so in relationship to yourself, okay, because this is your reading and it's about you. So as a blockage, it's definitely maybe there's too much focus on the material and not enough on the emotional and the spiritual as is. Okay, in the past we've got the Knight of Swords, so obviously this is rushing forward to something with information or with an idea or with a notion, okay? So obviously in the past, something has inspired you. It could even be that you've been angered by something. I never really tend to look at the Knight of Swords as anger, but in this it could possibly well be. Maybe something's perturbed you because obviously, it's disruptive. In this card, in the Rider-Waite, you can see that it's quite a disruptive character. The Knight of Swords in this context. So maybe something's just unnerved you, maybe something's caused you, to overcompensate in other ways, when it comes to your finances. Sometimes we do that. We're all guilty of it to some degree, where we overcompensate and, we kind of try to heal ourselves in the things that we really enjoy. And self-love is absolutely fine. Self-love is a good thing, it may well even be the case that, a bit of self-love wouldn't go amiss. Maybe some information from the past has come forward and that's just completely unsettled you. Whether that pertains to love, you'll know in what context. And, maybe this is, but what's calling for is the self-love by all means, but also, you need to acknowledge the feelings and the things that are hidden, that are underneath, that bold exterior that we love so much about Leonians. But, maybe it is just a case of, you need to address those things that, are emotive for you. So in the future, we're being asked to use our intuition, and I believe that you will do. It's in your future position card. It's relevant to, obviously, your emotions again, but she is silent. She knows. She keeps things silent. Some people tend to look at the High Priestess as not being emotional, but don't forget that she is actually, related to the sign of Cancer. So, she is fully balanced in her emotions, but she's not devoid of emotion. So I think it's just getting a handle and a check on those emotions, acknowledging them, processing it, and using your intuition as you move forward. Okay, so I think that's key. Now you can apply that if that's in a work situation or if it's in a love situation, okay? Whatever it is that's unnerved you or perturbed you in the past, that energy that's obviously, that's come towards you, it's obviously put you on the back foot a little bit, but it's caused you to go within and maybe do a lot of self-love, which is no bad thing, so long as you don't overdo it. Don't forget that she is providing a minor blockage here in this read. So, you just need to keep an eye on that you're not overcompensating and, not kind of acknowledging the emotive and balancing your emotions at the same time. So for the month of October, I think that that's what you need to do, is just balance your emotions, Leo. You've got a big heart at the end of the day, and your energy is beautiful, but you do need to keep your emotions in check. And that bold exterior that we love about Leo that they have, you've got a big heart and you need to guard that to some extent, but you also need to acknowledge and process whatever it is that's come towards you, because I really do feel like something's troubled you from the past in relation to a relationship or a work situation. Okay, for the hopes and the fears, well, obviously this could only be hopes, isn't it, really? It's a wonderful card to get. It's the Ace of Pentacles, and this is the one that Cancer got as well, which is what's making me think that possibly there's a Cancer on the table here for you somewhere. But for a future position and something to want, it's fantastic. Why, who wouldn't want it? I love the Ace of Pentacles. It's an opportunity. So it could be that, something's happened here in relation to this, something that's obviously caused grief, an issue, that's put you into this situation, that's given you this minor blockage of obviously overindulgence to some degree. It could just be that, you're wanting that offer, something's put you in your feels, basically. And it's asking you to get into your feels, really, to actually acknowledge and balance yourself out emotionally. I think when it comes to the Ace of Pentacles, I think this is what you're hoping for. It's something that you want brought forward to you, but you know, at the same time, it might be something that does not happen, and it could be for your own greater good. And the reason I say that is because you've got in your advice the Seven of Wands. Now the Seven of Wands, you know, he's basically pushing people away, and to my view it's things that are not good for him. And in this context of this reading, it could be that somebody has been disloyal or has been betrayed, whether it's in a romantic context or work context. You know, I would say that you need to stand your ground to keep your standards up, Leo, which is what you're good at. I mean, it's a 7, so it's the minor ones, isn't it? So, you know, you need to adopt that Leonian energy to really stand your ground and put your boundaries in place. And as much as obviously, you know, you're hoping for this, you know, maybe the truth of the matter is that it's just not good for you. Whatever it is, you do need to stand your ground with it, is what I'm getting here. But with your outcome as well, I'm getting the Four of Wands, which is stability, it's foundations. So whatever you're choosing to stand your ground in, whether or not it's the offer that comes forward that you want and you decide that you want to fight for it in order to gather stability, or whether it's something that you feel you need to stave off, basically staving off the offer to retain your sense of foundation. For me personally, as the reader for you, I would say that you need to stave off whatever this offer is, because as promising as it looks and as it is a beautiful card, not all offers are in our best interest. And the cards that obviously surround that tend to give us, you know, the context as to why or what. I would say that wherever this was that unsettled you in the past, that's caused you to go within, and, you know, I would say that you need to trust your intuition, and although the offer may look good, you need to stand your ground. If the offer's that good, it'll come back, it really will, you know, and you will get it. Nothing that's ever meant for you will pass you by, in my view. So, you know, you need to stave off whatever that is and focus on your foundation, because your foundation is key, okay? That's what you need to do, and I would say that it'll be, you know, quite a fruitful outcome for you, really, because the Four of Wands is a lovely card. You know, it's your own suit of fire at the end of the day. It's, you know, it's stability, it's home, and, you know, it's essentially it's solid, which is what you want. So overview for you, I would say, Leo, for the month of October, it's not looking too bad. It's definitely not negative. I would say you just need to get in your feels a little bit. Well, whatever is coming in from the past has put you in your feels anyway. So, you know, whether it's a person or it's just an energy that can take any form for you individually. Don't forget, I am reading for thousands, so you do need to understand that, you know, it's going to apply in whatever work context, romantic context, but whatever it is, you know, it's fair to say it could even really have pissed you off, but it's put you right in your emotions. But you know what, for the month of October, in your emotions is where you probably need to be, because what I can see here is that there's a little bit of overcompensation going on a materialistic financial level, which is fine, because like I said before, self-healing and love and self-love, you know, it comes through the material things that we can provide as well. We all do it, I do it, you know, it's not a bad energy to be in. But the Empress, as beautiful as she is presenting a slight blockage for you. So it's an overcompensation for something, and I'm getting it's very much on the emotional level. So you need to go within, and unlike the priestess, the high priestess, you need to balance yourself out. She sat between the two pillars, she's balancing herself out. She's wise, she doesn't speak, she just processes, you know, but she's very much the middle pillar here, and she's very much between both polarities. So I would say definitely center yourself, you know, and just keep your reserve and keep you cool. In terms of what's coming forward, you know, you do have that offer coming forward. It's entirely up to you how you choose to go about it, whether you choose to take it. But from what I'm seeing here, you actually probably need to stave off, you know, like I say, if it's meant for you, it'll come back around, because right now your stability and your emotional well-being is key, obviously. So I would say definitely, you know, try not to worry too much about it. The offer, I would say, will come again. It's not something to worry about. I think you just need to put your boundaries in place, and obviously, you know, make sure people know how far they can go with you, etc., especially if this has had anything to do with, you know, how you're feeling now in the present situation. You just need to stand your ground, is what I would say, definitely. But Leo, it's been a really good reading for you overall. I'm really positive for you for the month of October, and I hope you've enjoyed your reading. If you need to contact me for private readings or anything like that, all my information obviously is down below in the description box or on the info. So I hope you have a great and safe month of October, Leo. Take care.